All right, the latest small business employment watch out from Paychex showing job growth actually remains steady. Joining us right now with the latest data is John Gibson. He's the CEO of Paychex. And John, we've had a lot of uncertainty, people asking questions about how the economy is doing. But from where you sit, things look pretty good.
Yeah, Becky. Well, first of all, it's great to see you again. I keep looking at this, and we kept saying this and kept reporting almost every quarter I've been with you. The small business labor market really has remained fundamentally stable and resilient. And really, despite all the things you said we've went through so far this year, our job index actually increased in July. And when I step back and look at wage inflation, hourly wage growth is below 3%. That's the 11th time in 12 months. It's the 9th consecutive time. So you have to really go back to 2021 to see that kind of trend. So, I think with more clarity on taxes, tariffs, small businesses and entrepreneurs, they should have a lot more confidence to invest in their business. And I think we saw in July the first jump in hours of work by small business owners. So by workers, that's going to put more money in their pockets. So I'm relatively optimistic of where we stand right now.
I guess if you were to look at anything, wage growth is below 3%. I'm not trying to poke holes in any of this. Is that an indication that maybe things are slowing a little bit? I mean, this sounds like a strong economic data point, and I know it's broadly geographic. I'm just trying to look at if there's anything you look at and say, okay, this is something we have to watch for down the road.
No, actually, what I would say is on the wage growth side of it, we've actually seen this year kind of a small increase in wage inflation growth, very small and moderate from the low that we saw in January. Now, I would say it's still below 3%. And when I look at a trend line, this looks more like 2024 to 2020 pre-pandemic. Wow. So I think this is a very stable wage inflation. What we've really been watching, Beck, if you remember right, what I talked a lot about, while wages were really going up during the pandemic, owners were turning to reduced hours. And that's really compressed what people actually take home. And what we saw in July was really the first spike that we've seen. The annualized monthly numbers now at 2.5% in number of hours. So you take the wage growth and the number of hours growth, that's something that's going to put more money in the pockets. You had someone on from P&G, CEO there, talking about the consumer being under pressure. I think they're going to find a little bit more money in their wallet. This was only the fourth time in the last 50 months that we've seen number of hours increase for small business owners, workers. And remember, small business workers represent over 50% of the American workforce.
They do. Also impressive, it's happening around the country, but it's being led by the Midwest. I think Ohio leads the way, followed closely by Indiana.
That's correct. I tell you, the Midwest has been the story of really the last 12 months. If you go back during the pandemic, the South was really leading the charge, and I'm sure Governor DeWine is very happy about Ohio overtaking Indiana. Most Hoosiers maybe are a little regretting that, but Ohio has taken the lead, and really the Midwest continues to take the lead. What's also been interesting here is the South has continued to struggle a little bit. Actually, it has fallen for most of the last 12 months, and actually the Northeast has taken the second spot. So there are a lot of differences and changes going on demographically that we see going on in the data, but the Midwest has really been the strong suit across the board, almost all industry sectors and all aspects in terms of client sizes as well.